All right. Ah. So you guys like Halloween? No, you don't? Really? You don't like Halloween? Are you actually teenagers? You don't like Halloween? Okay. I just I just assumed teenagers love Halloween. So much fun. Ashley, number one winner today. Congratulations. Um, what what did you put for this? What do you think is going on? Any problems that could these cows or the situation could run into? This beautiful field. Okay, cows. What do we call? What's the technical term for cows or another animal eating their grasses and plants? Call it grazing. Yeah, grazing. Yeah, you heard that? Never heard that word before? Grazing. Yeah, you're grazing. I guess you could graze. People kind of say if you go to a buffet and you kind of eat a bunch of things, you're kind of grazing. You know? Because you got to try the stuff, right? But then you can overdo it, and that can be a problem. Got to watch out at a buffet, right? So cows are grazing. Yeah, they're out there. How many cows are there? It looks like 4 cows. You don't see? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Yeah, those are cows. Yeah, I mean, I think so, right? Yeah, those are cows. You think there's one behind that cow? Is there one behind there? There could be. Since we're in a science classroom, we need to see evidence, don't we? We only see evidence of 4. There might be more. Okay? So they're grazing in a nice grassy field. Ooh, some beautiful mountains in the distance, some trees. Ah, looks pretty nice. Ashley. Well, let me go to my next winner. Alyssa. Given what we've talked about this, did you have something different on yours?
I was thinking like maybe cows can eat like too much grass, and if like cows ever like we put too much to like the whole grass would go
So I caught the part where cows could eat too much, right? Could could these 4 cows eat all this grass, do you think? I don't know. I'm not a cow grazing expert. Kim, what do you think based on your cow grazing experience? Oh, sorry. Sorry. No offense. D- you think this is enough grass for these cows? Or you think they could you think they might eat it all? No, okay. Cows could they could graze too much, but probably not. That's a good question. They probably can they probably can stay afloat if they need to. I think in those cattle drives, they used to do in the old west for a couple years at least they did it. I think they would swim them across streams and stuff. If they couldn't swim, I don't think they could have done those cattle drives. It would have been pretty hard because they didn't have a lot of bridges. Yeah, Yesenia. Say that again. Cow waste, yeah. Well, that could be a problem. Okay, yeah. Cows could graze too much. So there could be a problem with cow waste. Now, could this environment, the area of land you see here, could it handle? Would cow poop become too much of a problem with this amount of land? Probably not, because I mean, once the cow poops, what starts to happen to that poop? Starts to decompose, breaks down. The grass uses it. It can actually help the grass. There's a lot of areas on Earth that the grasses grow very well in the plants because of the animals. You've heard of wildebeest over in Africa? You've heard of buffalo in this continent. They would help to fertilize the plains, and that helped the grasses and help the ecosystem. So in the natural state of things, they can help. So cow waste could build up. But in this area, I think probably not. So this looks pretty good. How could this turn into a situation where we would have problems, Samuel? So I think maybe you talk about like erosion, like removal of the grass and erosion of the soil. Okay. So if they ate too much grass, we'll say, oh yeah, we'll just erosion of soil from too much grass being eaten, or say grass eaten. And that would be something that happened if we had an overpopulation, right? So instead of 4, how many would start to become a problem, do you think? Just based on what you think. Well, 2,000 for sure. I'm thinking, would 100 be okay in this area? Maybe. What about 200? Yeah, I'd say at 200 plus, probably you'd see some serious degradation. They would eat all the grass. There'd be poop everywhere. It wouldn't break down quick enough. It would go into the streams. It damaged the streams. And not only those streams, but where do streams go? Everywhere. They go to the next river, which goes and goes and goes and goes until it reaches the ocean, right? So everything down from this would be impacted. Now, the waste does break down in the water as it goes down. But guess what probably the next stream has in store for the river? Could it have more waste dumping into it? It could. Okay. So 200 plus cows. Whoa, that was crazy. What was that? You would see an environmental negative impact, right? We'll say environment. Can you read that? I'll right over here. Environmental impacts. Okay. This is going to something called Tragedy of the Commons that's in the first video that I'll post soon. Basically, we have this common area. If we manage it properly, like now, it'll be okay, right? We can have 4 cows on here, maybe 50, no problem. But what's human nature what does human nature tell people to do? Want more. You get something, automatically we want more, right? You feel that in yourself for a lot of things? Not necessarily talking about money and possessions, but a lot of different things. We want more and more. It's very tough for us to be satisfied. So if you get a bunch of people putting their cows out there because they want to get in on this, because cows get a lot of money from them. You can destroy everything. And then is there anything left for anybody? No, it can wreck it for everybody. So that's what the tragedy of the commons comes from. So how do you avoid something like that? What can we do to make sure not, too many cows don't get placed on that land? Denise, what do you think? What could we as a society put into place to make sure we preserve these areas so that the maximum number of people can benefit from these resources? Laws, exactly, laws and regulations. And people say, oh, I hate regulations, I hate laws, I don't want them telling me what to do. But why are laws there? So there's order, so we don't wreck things for each other. because there was a problem in the past. Whenever you see a law or regulation, it's there because there was a problem. For example, my youngest son played Little League baseball. You guys seen it? You guys know Little League? I love it. He had a sweet little swing. He would just hit that ball. Um, yeah, he was a great little hitter. And in the outfield, he would just kind of sit there and kind of look. But yeah, it was so much fun watching him play. But at the ballpark, there was a big sign where the parents could see near the bleachers that said, "No verbal abuse of referees will be tolerated. If that happens, you will be disqualified, never come here again." So why would they put up a sign like that? Why would they have to put up a sign to remind parents to be nice to the referees? Because in the past, parents get all freaked out and verbally abuse referees, coaches, other players, other little kids. Parents can act really foolish, can't they? In sports games. Yes, Albert. Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, there's some, and in life, we have to get used to the calls sometimes going our way, sometimes not. The last thing we want to do is react like that, have parents show a negative example like that, flip out on a referee. It kind of feels funny at the time, but you think about it, it's not very good. But I bring up that story just to say, whenever you see a rule and you think, oh, that's crazy, why have that? Well, because it helps. Oh, there's also every single city in this country has a law, every single one, every town, that says you have to keep your dog on a leash. Okay, why is that? Because stray dogs used to be a major problem. Not kidding. 100 years ago, you walking down the street in a town in the United States, there'd be packs of dogs wandering around. If you're carrying your groceries home, could that be a problem? Yeah, it could be. You might not, you won't get those groceries home. You might have a problem yourself getting home. So I don't know about you. I don't want to encounter a pack of 12 stray dogs when I'm walking home at night. So that's on the books. A lot of people don't like to use leashes, right? My dog obeys on command. Sit, heel. But that's why that's there, okay? All right. Okay, so that was fun.